Hey everybody, we're talking about the Nintendo E3, whatever it is they wanted to show us. I'm Matthew Falvey from A 90s Kid, and we're here with Misha.
Hello, I'm Misha Crossing from YouTube and writer on A 90s Kid.
Now Misha just put up a big write-up with all the trailers and everything you need to know, so if you don't like watching video, you can read that on A 90s Kid, but we're going to be going over everything that happened. First off, Reggie came out and he talked about fun, the game, competitive, what is life and reality, and then his green screen melted away behind him, and we just got right into the show. So that was
right into the Odyssey, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, you know, I knew Nintendo was going to do something a little weird, and this was a really fun way to start off in Crazy Town. We saw Rocket League in the sizzle reel, and the first big trailer that they showed was for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So if
Never played it.
Me either. There's just so many gigantic RPGs you can get into in this life. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that if you like the first one, you're going to be really excited for the second one. And if you're excited by this one and you haven't played the first, you're probably going to want to go back and play that one, because JRPGs are not known for holding people's hands in terms of story.
First one's on the Wii, right?
The Wii U had a Xenoblade game as well. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
maybe it was ported.
Maybe. I think that there's a lot of these Xenoblade games going on.
I feel like I should know more about them.
Well, you had a great comment as it came out saying that this was the first JRPG of E3.
Yeah, it was. This was the first one we saw, and I guess so far the only, well, in Fire Emblem.
And Ni no Kuni 2.
Yes, Ni no Kuni 2.
But Ni no Kuni 2 we knew was coming out already.
Yeah.
So this was more of a big announcement. The game looks great. It's nice that Switch is really covering all their bases with just about every genre on there, and
and this one's coming to 3DS as well, so that'll get both markets there. Yeah.
Wow, that's gonna have to be, I would assume, like a pretty big downgrade in terms of fidelity.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll do that.
All right, well, here's a game as well coming out that I think I'm a little more into. A new Kirby game coming out in 2018. This is gonna have 4-player play. What did you think of this one?
It looks really exciting. It looks so colorful and so fun. I love Kirby's different powers and abilities, and the bosses and the levels all look really, really unique and really interesting. I hate that we don't really know much more about it. We don't know a title. We don't know any sort of release date beyond just the vague future of 2018.
That was sort of the E3 mantra, really cool. Was just saying years.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like Nintendo's E3 in general was a little vague, is kind of my takeaway from it, but still exciting. Like
the biggest announcement was just a logo.
Yeah, exactly, just
in
title
development.
Card.
It reminded me of Devolver's give us money just because we've thought of an idea.
Yeah, exactly. Here's all our ideas as announcements.
I think the 4-player co-op works really well with Kirby. I loved it on Super Mario 3D World. It was a great thing. And Nintendo handles that really well with sort of drop in, drop out. I mean, move over, Knack. Mm-hmm. Here comes another co-op platformer. Then we saw Shinya Takahashi with his haircut that his mom gave him.
What a man.
He said the Switch success, when he found out that the Switch was successful, he was so relieved. And it made me sound like there was like a guy with a gun off camera. Like he was, they were going to kill him if the Switch wasn't successful.
Pokemon Company needs to say something about the Switch that's good.
Yeah. So that was nice. And then we saw the Pokemon fighting game. Not really the Pokemon game people are super excited for.
No, but then soon after came the core Pokemon RPG development.
Made by Game Freak, makers of all the big Pokemon games. Very vague again. They're just saying it's core and it's in development for the Switch.
Yeah, there was a game or a job listing from Game Freak a few months back that clued people into a Pokemon game being developed for the Switch, because it said they needed like character designers for like a RPG series that everybody knows about, that it's a worldwide popular RPG in development for a home console. So pretty much everybody knew at that point it would be everybody knew, everybody hoped it would be a Pokemon RPG. But what does core game even mean? Does that mean it's going to be a mainline series game? I don't know what that means.
They mean for the hardcore gamers, not casual. This is super hardcore. Yeah, I would think it's gonna come in. It'll be after the Sun and Moon. It'll be in that main line. It's gonna have what you would expect from the Sun and Moon type Pokemon games, is what I would assume from Core.
I hope so.
Then we had an even vaguer announcement that was a lot more exciting. Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, when that 4 popped up, I at first thought Pikmin 4, because that's what I was hoping for. And
nice one.
I was just like, Metroid Prime, which has also been rumored for a while. A game I have not played personally, but I know a lot of old Nintendo fans are super stoked for it.
Oh yeah, the senior homes will be rioting today. Metroid Prime is back. And you know what's really funny is that this is probably where they should have announced next. And guess what? We're also going to remake the Game Boy Metroid. What was it? Samus Returns, Return of Samus.
Yeah. They just sprinkled that into the treehouse afterwards. Why?
Do they not? I think, judging by how Nintendo treats the Metroid franchise, I don't think they think people like Metroid. And the way they were talking about it, they're like, in case anyone doesn't know what a Metroid is, or what a two-dimensional Metroid is, this is Samus's gun. Like, yeah, everybody knows this. Everybody wants this.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then right after they showed the logo, they said, and now we're gonna get a first look. And I thought, here we go, Metroid first look. No, it was a first look at Yoshi.
Yeah, completely switched channels there with Yoshi, but kind of back to the Kirby channel.
Yeah.
Feels very much like the Kirby, very colorful, side-scrolling platformer.
And they're playing with some perspectives, 2D to 3D, even though, like, as he runs along the path and the way he can shoot. This looks like Yoshi's is shrunken down. The toilet rolls are about two or three times the size of him.
Yeah.
And you know, I like what they do with the Yoshi series. They focus on a cool design aspect and then just go to town, like with Yoshi's Woolly World. I mean, they make these really beautiful games that I think end up being pretty underrated. For some reason, people just don't care about Yoshi as much as Mario or even Kirby.
Sure. But yeah, it looks really interesting. I like the aspect of flipping the platform on the other side. That adds a really interesting, like, strategic aspect to it, of like how the 3D Mario games are, how you always have to flip around, look at the different perspectives, try to figure out exactly how to best solve this level, or even fighting a boss could be different from a different perspective. So I'm interested to see what they do with it. I think it looks really cool.
It looks great. I love that cardboard house with the crayon drawings on it that Yoshi exploded to show the logo. It looked great.
Yeah, Yoshi always looked, these last couple games have looked like very kind of children, like kindergarten-y, very colorful, not really simplistic, but just still kindergarten-y crafts, like worlds, like paper mache and cardboard houses and the wool. It's very unique, very, very interesting.
And then we got a little more serious. Koei Tecmo's a new Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Warriors. However, they didn't show any gameplay from this at all. It was just a very, very Japanese trailer with what seemed to me like sort of a very late put on English dub. Not even close to matching the mouths. And they seem to hide it by, well, let's get them when the characters turn around and then we'll put the English dub in there. Just a Japanese type story and nice music.
Yeah, I was reading up a little bit, and it looks like this Warriors game is going to go away from the regular turn-based combat from regular Fire Emblem game. It's going to be a hack and slash combat with like both sword fighting and magic usage in battles. So that's what I read on a description of the game that wasn't included in the E3 trailer. But that should be interesting. When
I saw the word Warriors, I almost thought, are they going to go for a Hyrule Warriors type hybrid, that Dynasty Warriors style combat?
Right.
But they really could have helped us out by showing us anything other than this sort of paper cutout looking CGI trailer. But
yeah, that's been a bummer for E3 in general, and I think just game reveals in general is cinematic trailers. It doesn't really show us features of the game. It doesn't show gameplay. It's kind of very vague story details sometimes. I wish we had seen some gameplay.
And the game's coming out fall 2017. That's pretty soon. It would be nice to know what's happening here.
Yeah, some more details would be welcomed.
Then we saw the rockstar himself, the Zelda creator, Eiji Aonuma. And when he put the Master Sword back into the rock, I thought, no, don't do that. You'll never get it out again.
You'll never get it back.
So different. You're so old, you don't have enough hearts.
So he kind of reiterated what we saw from Bethesda Skyrim Switch edition with the Master Sword and amiibo functionality, which is so strange that Skyrim is getting amiibo functionality. I did not expect that at all.
I think I almost feel like with all of this third-party Nintendo characters guest starring, it's like Nintendo thought, all right, we need to be so good with third parties. We'll give you, what do you want? You want Mario and a Rabbids game? Yeah, all right, sure, let's do it. Zelda and Skyrim? We don't care anymore.
Sure, throw it at them.
They've just
They've
opened the gates, and it seems so odd because Nintendo's always been so on their own. So to see Zelda running around in Skyrim, but I mean, they're embracing it and it's fun. And if that's what it takes to get a game like Skyrim on the Switch, then sure,
I'm here
link
for
out.
it. Yeah.
And then he talked about some stuff we already knew. The expansion pass is going to be $20 US. The Master Trials Pack, June 30th. New areas, shrines, enemies, armor, a Korok mask, the Hero's Path and Master Mode, which I didn't really understand.
Yeah, it showed some more, I guess, areas from the Master Trial, or it's like the Trial of the Sword or something like that. So when you complete the Trial of the Sword, fighting all the enemies and all the different areas, you'll be able to keep the Master Sword charged up at its full 60 power all the time, I believe.
Pay to win.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's a fun DLC. But
sure. I mean,
then
if they just release something for $10 and it's like none of your weapons will degrade, I think everybody would buy that.
Everybody would download that immediately. But at least the Master Sword you keep forever.
Yes.
And then they talked about the Champion. Well, they didn't even talk about it, but the Champions Ballad DLC, which
was very confusing again.
They just showed the champions. That's all they did. No information on the DLC other than that. I have no idea what to make of it. It's what the DLC will include. Will we get to play as these champions? Will we get to... I mean, we probably won't get to play as them. But
I bet if you buy the amiibo, you can.
Maybe, yeah, because they did
armor.
announce those amiibos and say they'll be functional with it. Yeah, no idea what to make of it beyond that.
Yeah, very confusing, and it's coming out soon. So not the best with the messages. Then they talked about competitive gaming, because that has been a huge theme of E3, especially with Intel and PC gaming. Competitive gaming, Splatoon 2, the World Inkling Invitational, happening June 13th. They're going to have the Americas versus Europe versus Australia versus Japan. June 14th, the Pokken Invitational with 8 competitors. And an ARMS Open Invitational June 14th as well, with 4 pros and 4 E3ers that are going to rise from the ranks of the sweaty, stinky showgoers to fight against the pros in ARMS. And
I'd be more excited about all that if I was there, but it sounds cool.
Yeah, and
all the tournaments.
What I think is exciting about ARMS is that it's so new. You might stumble across some crazy like spam combo you can do that just and cheese your way through it. Then they mentioned another thing we already knew about, Mario Rabbids, coming out August 29th.
Pleasantly surprised with that one as well. The trailer seems really cool. The tactical turn-based, strategy combat seems really interesting. There's a lot of layers to it. It seems a lot of interactivity between the different team members. And never played XCOM, but that's what a lot of people have been comparing it to.
Yeah, a little bit like XCOM, for sure.
Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I thought you were saying something.
Like XCOM. I like what you said about the interactivity with the different members, because I think that's what really elevates sort of that kind of gameplay to a new level, is what you can, with the positioning, what big combos that you can pull off. I think will be pretty fun and rewarding.
Yeah. And there were skill trees too, so it looks like it is really going to be an RPG where you're going to level up different abilities with different characters that have different strengths. I didn't look at the skill tree too much, but I'm excited to, I don't know, see what different weapons and RPG elements Nintendo. Well, I guess Ubisoft is the one actually developing it, right?
I think so. I mean, I'm sure they have some Nintendo people there supervising, but I mean, all I've heard is that Miyamoto said, "Don't make it a jump game."
Don't make it a jump game. I didn't hear that.
Oh, he said that at the Ubisoft conference when he came out with a gun.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that part for some reason.
I just love that he said jump. I guess, that's probably what they call platformers.
Jump games, yeah.
Jump man. Then we found out that Rocket League coming out holiday 2017. It's going to have exclusive items, cars, cross-network play,
Yeah, that's exciting.
local wireless multiplayer, and Mario and Luigi hats.
Yeah, get a Mario and Luigi hat for your car, what I'm sure Rocket League players have always wanted.
Nintendo Rocket League players probably will.
Right. I think they said they were going to come out with some more exclusives, like themed vehicles and things like that they were going to announce later on. Did that one get a release date?
Holiday 2017.
Okay, yeah, of course.
So pretty wide. I guess just in time to buy for Christmas. That's great.
One thing that did get a release date was Super Mario Odyssey, which is really exciting.
Right, before Halloween. It would have been a great Halloween game with all the costumes. October 27th. How confusing was this when you see this odd background, this grassy knoll, a dinosaur comes out wearing the Mario hat.
I thought we were going back to a JRPG or something. It looked very like Xenoblade or Fire Emblem or something, but that it was a dinosaur with a Mario hat.
The coolest dinosaur, other than the Velociraptor. So that seems to be the big reveal, is that not only is he going to use the hat for jumping on, he's going to be using it to put on objects and different enemies. We saw him turn into a bullet bill, a fish, into a rocket, throw it onto like a bendy stick to jump, a turtle, a hammer bro, a chain shot, basically everything. And then they were talking about in the treehouse after that they want people to really experiment. So I think they're almost embracing that kind of like Breath of the Wild, like the physics experimentation. What can you do? This seems to be, which is something new for the Mario series, which is usually known for just having a core group of mechanics that you know how they work. And I think that this is pretty exciting. I mean, these levels look massive.
Yeah, they look huge. They look really intricate. Each one is different from the last, with very different types of designs and themes. And yeah, he threw his hat on that realistic New Donk City or whatever, where there was a real looking human standing next to him, and he just threw the hat on him and I guess possessed him and took over his abilities.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like.
When you think about what Mario's actually doing, it's always really freaky, but he gets away with it because he's so charming.
Yeah, he's just a charming little plumber that always saves the day.
Yeah, and it's and in its native form, they were saying that his hat, I forget what they called the hat, is white, and then we've seen Bowser mostly dressed up in this big white suit, so I guess he's taken over the hat. And that's given him his superpower, so that probably seems to be the crux of the game. I don't know why I'm talking about the plot of a Mario game,
because that's what everybody cares about, is the plot of a Mario game.
Yeah, it's I finally went and played Galaxy, and I've been talking a lot about on this channel how I wasn't really a big fan of it because it felt very slow, and I hate the motion controls. But this one seems to have bumped the speed up. And it looks like it's going to nail sort of that good, fun Mario feel. I was a much bigger fan of 3D World and even New Super Mario Brothers Wii U than Galaxy. But this looks pretty good. The one part I didn't like is when they were talking about in the treehouse, and he was going on these like gymnast bars, and he was swinging back and forth. I didn't like the movement of it. I thought it looked like Sonic. It was very stiff.
Stiff movement.
I'm nitpicking, but it's Mario, and I think Mario can stand up to a lot of nitpicking. It's one of the greatest franchises ever, but...
Yeah. And this is Nintendo's big game right now that they are building up the hype for Holiday 2017. It's going to be their main, probably, holiday title, I would say. So, nitpick away.
This is the game that might get me to grab a Switch, because I love me some Mario, and this looks pretty good. The bigger levels kind of remind me more of Mario Sunshine on the GameCube, which because he had that jetpack, that water pack he was able to go move around on, they had to make the levels a lot bigger and the platforms a lot bigger. But what I didn't like about that physics was that it made them very slow, and all the jumps were very slow because you were always hovering, as weird people would say. But with the hat being this platform, it feels a little more precise, a little quicker. Looks like they got some really great ideas here, and I just love that it's so experimental. Like, what's going to happen if I throw a hat on this? And I'm sure Nintendo has all kinds of weird secrets deep inside.
Yeah, from what they did with Breath of the Wild, with the different layers of interactivity and experimentation, I think they could make that really cool into a Mario game. Yeah,
and we thought it was all over, and then in Treehouse, they just casually said, by the way, here's a remake of a Game Boy Metroid title. I think they called it Samus Returns, and the Game Boy one is called The Return of Samus. Some sort of direction of that. And it looks like remade from the ground up, a 2.5D style. Looks great. I mean,
yeah, good day for Metroid fans.
Oh, absolutely. I think that there was that AMR2 remake that was happening that Nintendo shut down, so they've just gone and sort of done that. So yeah, huge day for Metroid fans. I hope that game sells like crazy and Nintendo realizes that, oh wow, people like this stuff and they're going to get it. So overall, what were your overall thoughts on this Nintendo show? Your surprises, your loves, your disappointments, the journey, the battle?
The overall impression, I kind of like I said earlier, a lot of the announcements were pretty vague, but exciting nonetheless. We got some major characters getting their own games on the Switch, like Kirby and Yoshi, some JRPGs coming back. There was something for everybody, I think, for the most part, in the reveals. There's third party with Rocket League, more details of Odyssey. The Odyssey details really surprised me. Like we were just talking about, the different interactivity. I was not expecting something like that to come to the game, but as I've talked about on Twitter a lot, I was really hoping for a new Animal Crossing game, Smash Bros. Port, or a new Smash Bros. In general, for the Switch, and maybe a Pikmin confirmation. That was a stretch, but people have been hoping for a new Animal Crossing game for a long time. New Leaf came out in 2012, so it's time for a new game. Yeah, it's got a huge following. So,
do they still put out new content for that? DLC and any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, they had a huge update called the Welcome Amiibo update back in November, and they actually re-released the game as Animal Crossing New Leaf Welcome Amiibo with like the DLC included in it. So they've shown that they're there for Animal Crossing. They know it has an audience. They released the spin-off game Happy Home Designer like 2 years ago, I think. So they're there for Animal Crossing, but disappointed we didn't see it. But there's still hope. I mean, like I kind of said on Twitter as well, that Nintendo doesn't really give much to E3 anymore. They've been very non-traditional with E3. They like their own directs. They like making their own timing for their own announcements and reveals. They don't like packing in a lot of content to E3 like other companies do. So I think we'll see a lot more surprises from them and other directs and treehouses. I mean, they just revealed the new Pokemon games like last week, just before E3. So clearly they don't care about the timing at which everybody else is releasing information. So I think they'll give us some more surprises soon. But just disappointed in my few hopes that I didn't see today.
Yeah, they have always gone to their own drum. They have their treehouse, which is sort of like a little mini E3 every month. But then to see the Metroid Prime big announcement, I thought, so they are kind of getting into that swing of it. And then I know they don't have a lot of information about the Animal Crossing, but like you say, it's been so long, and it's such a huge franchise for them. And it's not like one of those games that you play through the story and then you just leave and then you come back to. I mean, it's this game that people play perpetually. Yeah, they put hundreds. I mean, I've put hundreds of hours into Animal Crossing New Leaf. Yeah, lots and lots of time goes into it. So they gotta. Yeah, they need a stream of that, and even if they had nothing, I mean, it didn't stop them from announcing that they're working on a Pokemon game and that they have made a logo for Metroid Prime. Yeah, exactly. All right, well, maybe there'll be more to come. You never know with these guys. There's more E3 coming. I'm sure they might drop something else on us. They'll probably casually mention, Mother 3's coming out too. You guys wanted that? We thought we heard something about that. You guys have wanted that sometime? Yeah, we've heard that. I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo said, we don't have internet at Nintendo headquarters, so we don't know what people are asking for. A little behind. And speaking of that, no virtual console mention at all. Right. Something they've promised since the Switch reveal. Yeah, that's a big one, actually. No mention of it at all, which is a big disappointment. And you'd think, since they've announced their paid online system, that they would mention something about the virtual console, which that would be related to, but or even show off the online or how the headsets are going to work and explain it to people. All we've seen is that sort of third-party weird squid-like adapter for Splatoon. Nintendo's really trying to get into the online competitive
gaming with that setup.
Yeah, I mean, that's been such a huge thing about E3 is online worlds and competitive gaming, and I think they realize that there's a lot of money in esports, and it's just a gigantic advertisement for your game. But Virtual Console, it's to emulate an NES or an SNES game is not difficult. Obviously, to set up the infrastructure for it is, and Nintendo has been so slow with their Virtual Consoles before. They set it up and they slowly roll it out. But yeah, that's a great point. You think they just talk about that, and it would be so, like, who doesn't want to bring around their Virtual Console on the go? It's perfect. The Switch would be a perfect little emulator for it.
Yeah.
They're basically two little NES controllers, those Joy-Cons.
Exactly.
Or Super Nintendo controllers, actually.
Yeah.
It's such a nice setup. But there we go. Maybe we'll find out something later on. Who knows? Thanks everybody for watching. Misha, thanks for joining. Misha writes
Thanks for having me.
Whole ton of stuff on 90s Kid and has a Misha Crossing YouTube channel where you're playing Animal Crossing and a whole bunch of other games on there, right?
Yeah. I'm playing Breath of the Wild right now. Just started up Stardew Valley again. Got a couple
nice.
other games scattered throughout there as well. Yeah.
And will Ooblets be making an appearance on there one day?
Oh, I hope so. I'm excited about some Ooblets. It looks Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon, and Pokemon all together. Yeah, kind of Simsy. Very, very interesting game.
But made by a two-person studio, too.
Really? I didn't even know that. Wow.
Looks great. All right, thanks everybody for watching. Enjoy whatever else happens in E3. Bye for now.
Bye.